Now this is exciting. We're almost done. Take a look. We've developed a dashboard that lets us go to various parts of our database. We've done a lot of master tables, a few mini tables. We've linked them into the master table. We've created some good forms and some reports based on the data and some queries based on the data as well. And remember, you can always take queries and create them into reports. So a couple of small things I have left to show you. Now, take a look. When you open Access for the first time, it shows up like this with nothing ready to go. What we want to do is tell Access that when you open the dashboard automatically. And we also want to take care of a few other properties. So if you click on the File tab at the top and go to Options, you'll see a bunch of things. Now don't worry about too much of it. We just want to do a couple of different things, right? So you can play around with these. First of all, you can put your username, your initials, and so on. But if you click on Current Database, you can give it a good title. And this is the one that shows up at the top or the bottom of your windows. And we're going to call this Send Call Orders. And application icon, we can always go to that later, but if you want a custom icon for your desktop and you know how to design one, you can always put it there, browse, attach it, and that will be the icon for your database. We'll do that later on. Now this is important. When you first open Access, what form do you want to display? Well, let's choose Dashboard, and it'll automatically display the dashboard every single time when you open up Access. Okay, now one other thing, you always want to check this box here. It says Compact on Close, and that's important because as you put data into the database, create queries, and create reports, the size of the file gets quite large. So Compact on Close just nicely compacts everything to save it in a manageable size. So we're going to click OK and click OK. So it says you must close the database in order for that to work, and trust me, when you do it, it will work. Now, another thing I'd like to show you is if you go to File, there is a button here called Compact and Repair, and once in a while you might want to do that if you find things that are not going right. I'm not going to do that right now. And also you can encrypt this file with the password. So if you choose to do that, you can never forget the password because you can never really get it back without a hack. So I won't show that to you, but you can certainly play around with it, right? Now, do you remember when we created the dashboard and we went to a button, we clicked on Orders, it took us to Orders. What it didn't do is it didn't close the dashboard to go to Orders. Now when I go from Orders to, let's say, another form or this particular query, it keeps Dashboard, Order Master, and High Value Sales open. Now the general rule in Access is that when one thing is open, you must close it before you go to the other. So you cannot make changes to a form, for example, if the corresponding table is also open at the same time. So what I'd like to do is when I click a button, it will close what's open and then open the other thing. And then when I click a close button on that one, it'll close that and open up whatever else that I want to get to. Now this is on the advanced side, and it is called a macro. So a macro is simply, it's a thing that you save where you record several steps that you want to do automatically. So let's have a look. We're going to go to Create, click on the macro button, and don't be too daunted by all this stuff. Okay, let's just take it step by step. Over here it says, what would you like to do? So first of all, I would like to close a window. So instead of form, they call it close window because it is actually the little window that's open that shows you the form or query or whatever it might be. So I'm going to close a window first. The thing I want to close is a form, and it's going to close, let's say, the dashboard. Now it also asks you that if there's unsaved data on that form, do you want the prompt to save it, yes or no? Now on a dashboard, that shouldn't be a problem, right? Okay, let's do another one. So once that dashboard closes, I want to open a form. To go to Open Form, which form do I want to open? I want to open Orders Master, right? And it will view the form. Good. Now let's save this. Now I'm going to give it a good name, and this is going to be Close Dash Open Orders. Right? Give it a good name. Click OK. Close this. And let's take a look. Let's go to the dashboard. Let's go to Design View. Now I'm going to delete this button. Now remember what happened when you click on this button. It actually kept the dashboard open and then it took you to the orders form. What my new button will do is use the macro to close dashboard and go to orders form. So I'm just going to delete this button. And I'm sure there's a way to modify it, but it's a lot easier just to put the button back, okay? So let's put it over here. Now, let's go to miscellaneous and run macro. So which macro do I want to run? The one that closes the dashboard and opens orders. And we'll call this orders. And next and finish. There we go. Now, you want to take the time to make it look the way it was supposed to originally. I believe we had it something like this. And under format, let's just change the color to black. There we go. Now let's save it. And let's go to this view. Let's take a look. So I'm going to click orders. Look what it did. It did not leave dashboard open, but it took me to orders. Now the second button I'm going to create is when I go from here to the driver form, it's going to close this and go to the driver form. Okay, so let's close this. Let's go to macro. First thing, I want to close window. It's a form that I want to close. It's going to close the orders master. And sure, why not save it? And then let's add a new action. I want to open a form. Which form? The driver master. And it is a form. There we go. Let's save it. And let's call this close orders open drivers or driver. Okay. Click OK. Close it, and let's have a look. I'm going to go to the orders master form, go to design view, and I'm just going to put a button up here, okay? Button, click. Now, what do you want to do in this button? I want to go to run macro, click next. Which one? Close orders, open driver. Next, call it drivers, next, and finish. There we go. So I'm just going to put this over here. I guess I could put it here and stretch this box out. And you could do a whole series of this. So for example, from this form, I'm going to the high value sales query and also to the driver's form. So let's make that look just slightly different so there's no confusion. Let's make it blue. There we go. Now let's save it and go to this view. Let's see what happens. Drivers, see, it closed one form, it opened the other, and when I close this, of course it closes the whole thing. So you want to kind of go around, do that with all your buttons, and kind of write it down on paper first. What steps is it going to follow? And you're allowed to have as many macros as you want. That's not a problem. And you can totally customize and make this database truly intricate.